baby. Yes, Potomac is back. Boop, 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 boop. Now that was an episode. Y'all wasted my time with these filler episodes, with these episodes that just didn't make sense. Tonight's episode is the quintessential Potomac episode. It's the reason why we love the franchise. It was funny. It was shady. It was, I don't know, baby. It was sprinkled with Black girl magic. So let's get right into it, baby. I love this episode. I'm going to give y'all my grade already. It was definitely tense across the board. It was 42 minutes of nonstop pleasure. I'm talking about Janet Jackson's pleasure principle, honey. I'm talking about comedy and just enjoyment. And I mean, child, where do we begin? Now, y'all know when I do these recaps, I ain't going down scene by scene, minute by minute. We're going to get to the hot stuff. And the hot stuff tonight, baby, is Karen Huger and Robyn Dixon. Baby. First of all, Karen, I don't think you're that dumb. I don't think you're, first of all, I said in last week's recap, Karen knows what she's doing. Karen is the Black Kathy Hilton. Hear me out. Kathy Hilton is not aloof like y'all think she is. Kathy Hilton is in on the joke in terms of like, what's going on, hunky dory? Karen Huger is the same way. She's not as aloof as people may think she is. The fact that you told Big Mouth Ashley some tea about Robyn, you knew good and dang well that Ashley, the supervising producer Potomac, was going to run back in her Dookie shorts, baby, and her Daisy Dukes, and run and tell Robyn. I mean, damn, Ashley can't hold water, she can't hold her husband. Ashley can't hold nothing, okay? It wasn't even 2 seconds before Ashley ran back and told Robyn everything that Karen said. So the moment that happened, I was like, well, damn, Ashley, do you want to work for Kingdom Reign Entertainment? That's why I'm wearing my sweater. Ashley, you are a producer's dream. If you want to work for my production company, we are accepting applications, because the way you ran from one scene to the other, not only did you run and tell Robyn, before that, you have to get your rocks off and tell Candy Gal and Wendy. And then you proceeded to tell Robyn. So I said that to say Karen knew exactly what she was doing. That's why Karen said, oh, and by the way, girl, this stays between me and you. Karen knew what was going on. Karen, I'm on to you, sis. I like it. I'm now aware that you and Kathy Hilton, who are, this is a compliment. You guys are two old broads. That's a compliment. Who definitely know how to play with the audience, the cast, the producers. You know what you're doing, Miss Karen. I'm on to you, mama. I'm on to you. I like you. Okay. I mean, listen, you know I love you. Because when Karen and I met, I was like, look, hunty, I love you. I am a Ladam. Okay? Which is Karen's fan base. I'm a Ladam. Karen, I'm watching you, sis, and I'm loving that you woke up. And to all the Karen fans, this is what I need for y'all to know. Karen is at her best when she's activated. Karen is at her best when she has her back up against the wall. The reason why these girls push Karen's buttons is because they know that's the only way she'll give good TV. I'm just telling y'all what it is. Giselle knows it. Robyn knows it. They all know it. They all know that Karen will sit there and eat the appetizer, the entree, the dessert, and have a cappuccino afterwards, or allegedly a cocktail with a blue-eyed bandit wearing some Vikings paraphernalia in Vegas. But we'll get to that in a second. Okay. Karen is at her best when she's activated. Karen truly will sit there and watch television. And I feel like these girls know that in order to give Karen some camera time, no shade, that they have to push her buttons. And I think Karen appreciates that. Okay, so Karen revealed that allegedly Juan Dixon, not Juan's dick, I mean, Carlos King. His name is Juan Dixon. I like Juan for obvious reasons. Okay, so Juan Dixon. Okay, I keep Carlos. It's Juan Dixon. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have a hard time tonight saying Juan Dixon. Whatever. Anyways, Juan allegedly has a girlfriend who is blonde and looks like Karen, and he holds her hands in Georgetown. This is giving me some good old love and marriage. Yes, love and marriage Potomac, baby. This is giving me some all the tea that I need and I'm used to. Okay, so allegedly, Juan has a girlfriend that he holds hands with in Georgetown. Now, let me tell y'all something. Do I think Juan Dixon has a girlfriend outside of Robyn? Look, it's plausible that Juan may have friends, and these friends may have a vagina. And these friends may be the hue of Karen. Yes, come on, Hugh. Yes, come on. Oh, to Giselle Bryant's makeup line every day. Hugh, bitch. Yes, Target. Okay. Do I believe that Juan is holding hands with this lady, allegedly, in Georgetown? No. Let me tell you about these housewives' husbands. They're not dumb enough to hold hands with any woman in public. They all have the intelligence to know that their wives are on this major platform, right? So they know that they cannot just be down the street in Georgetown holding hands. That's why some of them may give Elliot saying my name is such and such. We all know what your real name is. Or that's why some of them may rent out hotel suites and bring the party to them. Okay. These men are not holding hands down the street with some random. That ain't happening. So that's why, Karen, I love you. Do I believe what you're saying is true? Maybe. Because Juan obviously has shared, and Robyn did too, that he has cheated in the past. Do I think once a cheater, always a cheater? No. I do believe that you're able to learn from your mistakes and move on from it. Do I believe that Juan's dick is a sin? Which is why I keep saying Juan Dixon. It's Juan's dick sin. Juan's dick is a sin. Because it got, allegedly, it has the girls going crazy. I mean, to see how Ashley took that information to Robyn, and I love Robyn. Robyn tries so hard not to be bothered by it. But one thing I know about reality stars, they try to pretend in front of the camera, i.e. the audience, that they're not bothered by this information. And Robyn called Juan, which, girl, he embarrassed the out of you. I would not have called Juan because Robyn wanted to prove to the audience that Juan wasn't a cheater, pumpkin eater, in my Giselle Kobe Bryant voice. And Juan gave her a good old tongue lashing. Juan is over it. Juan cussed her out, the production out, the housewives out. Juan's over it. Do I think Juan was hyping it up because he tried to deflect? Maybe. But this is what's interesting about the dynamic of some of these wives on Potomac. What's interesting is y'all spent 75% of this season, which is why this season, I'll say this much. This is why a lot of the episodes on the front half hasn't been great, because y'all spent so much time trying to paint Chris Bassett as a cheater with this Deborah person. And then y'all tried to paint Happy Eddie as a cheater too, or a flirtatious man. And that's the reason why us, the audience, had a hard time loving this season. Because the real material that has some gravitas is what Karen spilled tonight. Like, that's some tea y'all should have spilled in episode 4. But again, because Karen does not give you force multiplier vibes, and again, I love Karen. Karen is not a force multiplier because she doesn't want to be in front of the drama. Karen doesn't start, but she finishes. And I'm not mad at that. But that's not force multiplier behavior. So it takes a force multiplier like a Giselle Kobe Bryant to get things activated. And then because Giselle is Batman and Robyn is Robyn, get it, Batman, Robyn? Robyn also knew what to do to get the party started with Karen. They had a hard-on for Karen. They felt like Karen was coasting this whole season, which, look, I love Karen, but she was. Karen was coasting. She ran away from Charisse as if Charisse had COVID, and she refused to be a part of it. And I think the Green Eye Bandits plus Charisse had this pact that we are going to make sure Karen gets her money's worth. Because I believe that they all get paid around the same. And one thing I know about producing reality shows, when the girls get paid the same, they feel like, how dare you make the same amount as money as me, and you don't even do 25% of the work. So that's why the girls have a hard on for Karen. Tea for y'all. Okay. So when Robyn got her tongue lashing by Juan, honey, she then proceeded to go to the restaurant, and that's when she pretty much exposed all of Karen's tea. Do I believe Karen? I said this last week. The block is hot. And I don't mean the 504 Hot Boys, baby. Come on, New Orleans. Come on, Lil Wayne. The block is hot. I think the fact that Wendy and Candiace both admitted that, yes, we've heard about this blue-eyed man in the streets of Potomac. I think it's time for you to just give it up and say, me and Ray allegedly have an open marriage. One thing I learned about producing reality TV, 90% of housewives are in open marriages. Y'all can call it threesomes. Y'all can call it, we like to have fun. Y'all can call it, well, what he does in his personal business ain't my business as long as you don't bring it home to me. We got to stop pretending that in the real world, monogamy is a thing. It isn't. It really isn't. It's just not. Like, I have a lot of female friends. A lot. And that's the reason why I love Mia, because Mia owned up to sleeping with a married man. 90% of my female friends have slept with a married man. It is what it is. And I remember being younger, discovering that and being like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? And what I was told by my girlfriends were, like, sometimes the guy does lie and say, well, you know, we are going through our moments, we're separated. I know that sometimes reality husbands, they sometimes tell their mistresses, nah, me and her ain't together in real life. That's just for TV. That's for TV. You know, she needs a check. And it's part of our agreement that I act as her man on camera. But we sleep in separate rooms. We don't have a real relationship, and we're co-parenting. I'm telling y'all, I know this for a fact. So y'all can read me if you want to. That's fine. I'm not gonna tell y'all who it is because I ain't messy, despite what y'all read. I know for a fact that that's what a lot of reality husbands do in these streets. It is what it is. Like I said before, they were ready for Karen to slip up. And because I majored in journalism in college and I minored in psychology, I know all about human behavior. Just like Robyn wanted to cry when Ashley revealed that tea, because Robyn low-key believed a little bit of it. I think the only thing Robyn did not believe was the fact that this woman looked like Karen. Look, say what you want. Karen's a beautiful woman. Now, she may not look like Karen right now at the age of 60 plus, but maybe this girl looks like Karen back when Karen was a baddie in her 20s and 30s, honey, when the Black Bill Gates swooped her up. Anywho, did y'all catch Karen's face when they were passing the phone around? Miss Thing looked bothered. Well, I want to see too. Yes, Karen said, bitch, I want to see too. Let me see this man. And the reason why you know there could be some truth to it, none of them had a big reaction to this picture. I think they all know what it is with Karen. And that's why my advice for Karen has always been, just admit that you and Ray have an agreement. No one's going to care. Your Ladoms, they ride for you. Mia's fan base are called the Mama Mias. They ride for Mia because Mia's like, I stripped. Although she lied and said she was a classy dancer passing out T-bone steak. When, girl, you was getting T-boned. Yes, Mia, get T-boned, honey. In the boober room, honey. Yes. Allegedly. Okay. Back to Karen. I really want Karen just to admit that her and Ray have an agreement. I think it's fine. No one's going to care. No one. I think I do think Juan Dixon, I can't believe I'm calling this man Dixon. Come on, dick of a sin. Yes. I do believe that Robyn may be one of those women who chooses to turn a blind eye. I think Robyn feels like, I'm a woman of a particular age. I have 2 kids. I don't think Robyn wants to date. I think she accepts where her and Juan are in their relationship. Do I think Juan and Robyn will get married? Sure. Y'all put too much inventory on marriage. Marriage ain't nothing but a document that the government has to state that based on these rules of the marriage certificate, y'all can have life insurance together. Y'all both co-parent. Marriage ain't, y'all need to wake up and smell the roses. I'm going to tell y'all one thing. One thing about creating the Love and Marriage franchise, I have learned so much about marriages and relationships. One thing about working on Love and Hip Hop, I've learned a lot about men and women having agreements to allow other women in the bedroom. It's not that much of a gag anymore. This is 2023. Men cheat, women allow it, and they go about their business and make money. It's not this big shock anymore. It is what it is. A woman sometimes does not want to start over again. And I think that's Robyn's testimony. I don't think Robyn wants to start over again. And I received that. I don't think Juan was mad that they lied on him. I think Juan was just mad that, Robyn, you know our situation. Stop calling me on some dumb shit. dumb stuff like this. I think Juan's like, stop. I get 10% of your check because I told y'all how these housewives paid their husbands 10% of their check. That's why Cynthia Bailey on this podcast revealed she gave Peter Thomas 10% of her income. And Peter said it too, because these husbands are making money to appear on the show. You think these husbands want to leave their situation and go and film with their wives and go to the bar and hang out with these dudes that they filming with? No. So the agreement that these men make is, give me 10% of your gross income from the housewife's check. It is what it is. This is the reality of the reality. And that's why all of this uncovering in tonight's episode was sort of like, I wasn't shocked by it. To me, I was laughing the whole time because it was comedy. And because I know what I'm saying is true, think about it. Why do you think that none of them had a big blowout? Think about it. If you are saying to me that my husband, fiance, roommate, or whatever is cheating on me with a woman who looks like you in Georgetown, I will be leaving. We're watching The Real Housewives of Miami, and we're seeing this Lenny and Lisa debacle happen and how all the girls rallied around her. That was a real life moment because they felt like, oh my God, this is horrible. Yes, we knew Lenny was cheating on you because y'all had all these parties, but they still rallied around her. These girls was eating their quesadillas, their salsa chips, their nachos with the cheese dip. They didn't care. They moved on and took a tequila shot and went home. That goes to show you that they have an understanding. Welcome to the year 2023. People cheat. People sleep with married men. I just said to y'all, 90% of my girlfriends, which I know my girlfriend's gonna be texting me like, Carlos, you better do. I ain't said no name, sis. Child, half of my gay friends sleep with married men, but that's a whole other. What in the DL Chronicles going on here, child? We'll talk about that another time, child. I'm not getting to these. All I'm saying to you is, let me know in the comments if y'all agree or disagree. I just don't think cheating is like this big deal. I think what makes it a big deal is when the wife tries to pretend that it's not true. And I think that's the reason why a lot of times you see people going in on it because they're like, you know, it ain't true, so let's talk about it. And I think that's the reason why the ladies wanted to expose Karen. And that's the reason why they did expose Karen. It's because of that same reason. It is. But Karen, let me tell you something, baby. Tonight's episode belonged to you because when you told Giselle Kobe Bryant, girl, shut up because you're not even near an altar. Oh, Jesus Christ. And Latter-day Saints. That was good. That was good. That was good. No, that was tonight's episode was good. And even seeing like Mia make up with Wendy was sweet because it goes to show you that that wasn't a real beef. Mia just tried to have a moment. And I think Wendy was like, is water under the bridge, or shall I say, is margarita under the bridge? Because, girl, she did drown you with that margarita, honey. No shade. So I think Dr. Wendy's over it. This is the part that really gets me. This Mia and Jacqueline thing, but this is why we're having a hard time with Potomac. Giselle, you're the EP of the show. Right in front of you is this good material between Mia and Jacqueline. The whole thing about I visited your mother on Mother's Day and you didn't. That's the rich material that's missing from this season. But you guys are constantly going for the low-hanging fruit of this Happy Eddie, Chris Bassett. Like, none of that is sticking. focus on, well, the season wrapped. I was about to give y'all some advice, but it wrapped already. So let's talk about next season. Next season, y'all need to really look at what's happening in front of you, because that Mia and Jacqueline situation is juicy. And there's something deep going on over there that I feel like we as the audience are missing. And I would like to know more about that dynamic, because Jacqueline is clearly hurt by it. And Mia seems not to give two Fs. And that to me is concerning. I love Mia. I'm also Mama Mia. I love Mia. I think Mia is great for the show. I think Jacqueline is a fantastic friend of. You guys were mad at me when I said that Ascala wasn't a great friend to the show. And let's be clear, I don't have any issue with Ascala. I think she's beautiful. She's well dressed. She's well poised. Not everybody's meant to be on reality television. That's why we have a casting call. That's why we have auditions, if you will. It's sort of like Hollywood with actors. You audition for the role. Not everybody is meant to play the role of friend of. Just like not everybody's meant to play the role of Annalise Keating. That was Viola Davis's part. We can't see no one playing Olivia Pope but Kerry Washington. A lot of women auditioned for that role. They gave it to Kerry Washington because she was the best for it. Doesn't mean that the other actresses who auditioned wasn't great. So when I say that Ascala wasn't a great friend to the show, I'm not dissing her. Get out of this whole like dissing thing. Jacqueline is a great friend to the show because she has a real connection to a housewife. She gives you emotion. She knows how to like be present, and she knows how to react. Ascala was nice gowns, beautiful gowns. She's a gorgeous girl, but she didn't give anything worth mentioning. And that's what I'm trying to teach y'all as I'm doing these recaps. Stop focusing on like, well, you know, she looked good. Okay. Wonderful. CoverGirl. Maybelline Queen. Great. That doesn't mean you're meant to be on reality television. So Jacqueline, you are meant to be on reality TV, and I would like to see more Jacqueline next season. Okay. So listen, like I said earlier, this episode was a 10 out of 10. It was perfect. I have no issues with this episode. This episode is the reason why we love Potomac. And Housewives of Potomac, if you're listening, because I know you are, stick to this formula. It was great. It was perfect. It was perfect. What wasn't perfect was the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion seating chart. I don't know what's going on with this seating chart when it comes to Potomac and even Atlanta this past season. It's bad. Michael Jackson bad. Lady Gaga bad romance bad. It was bad. Bad to the bone. Bad Girls Club bad. The seating chart, Carlos, you were best. It was bad. Like I predicted, just listen. Giselle is never losing her seat. Y'all gotta accept it. Y'all get so mad at me. You give Giselle too much. You hype her up too much. Okay, whatever. I'm the king of reality television. I know reality TV. Giselle is the face of the show. If they ever gave Giselle second seat, I promise you, she would sit in the hotel room. She would call Jamal Bryant to pray over her and the production, because she's going to go ham and cheese up in that piece. Giselle is such a professional that even if she does come out and sit second chair, I promise you she's going to be mute. She's not going to give you anything. And let me tell you something. They ain't going to risk that. Giselle is never losing her chair. Accept it. And in my opinion, she shouldn't. Boop. She pushes story. Now, granted, sometimes those stories can be a little wonky, like Chris Bassett wanted to, whatever. But at least she tries. At least she tries. And I think all the cast knows if Giselle decides to sit there and give what Karen gives, nothing would be happening. Okay. Now, Karen had first chair. Again, I love Karen. I advocated for Candiace to get first chair because to me, this was Candiace's best season. And Candiace was so delicious to look at. She was fantastic. I was very disappointed, to be honest with you. It was a slap in the face to Candiace. I always told you guys that there's a science when it comes to reunion seating. I was a part of it for many, many, many years. I advocated for seating arrangements when I was producing Atlanta Housewives. Because I said, look, none of y'all know these girls like I do. Because it's a psychological match when you do this seating assignment with the girls. That's why I always was like, clearly, Nene ain't losing her seat. And when I was producing the show, Kenya Moore never lost her seat. Candiace not having first seat was a slap in the face. I'm not going to go into so much detail because I appreciated Candiace's tweet about greatness takes time. And by her being a child of God, she knows where her blessing lies and is not in a chair. And I thought that was beautiful. And kudos to Candiace. So because Candiace said that, I'm going to say, I respect that. The only thing I will say, Candiace, is stop letting these people play in your face. And that's all I'm going to say. Then the other surprising part was Mia had last seat. Mia did so much this season. Mia threw a drink at Wendy. Mia exposed her past. Mia brought on Jacqueline. Mia cussed out her friend Jacqueline. Mia did all that, and y'all still give her last seat? I mean, oh my. Mia did all that this season, and y'all still gave a girl last seat. That was. Listen, I may be more bothered by that than Candiace not having first seat. At least y'all should have gave Mia third. I thought Mia deserved second. I would have put Mia next to Giselle because, again, it's a psychological thing. If you put Mia next to Giselle, you're telling Mia you're worthy. You're worthy because you're sitting next to the face of the show. If you would have set Candiace in first chair, it would have gave Candiace the right to know that you're meant to be here. Because when Candiace was on my podcast, she's so sweet and humble. I love her so much. I adored when she said, every season, I feel like I'm getting fired. And I was like, really, you? I feel like after your first season, you're good. Like, you're proving yourself. But that goes to show you the humility that she has, and I love that about her. So because of that, I would have definitely given her her first chair just to show her, like, we appreciate what you bring to the show. I think Karen would have gave you what Karen's going to give you, whether she's in the first chair, second, third, near the bathroom, by craft services, in the trailer. Karen having first chair doesn't mean a lot to Karen. But that's why I always say to y'all, I feel like sometimes these decisions are made based on Twitter. And my story ain't changing. So I told y'all I was going to talk about the reunion seating. And let's just say I gave that a 2 out of 10. We got to figure something out. Because this ain't happening. Okay. So that's my recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac episode, which was a 10 out of a 10. I loved it so much. And I'll be back next week to talk about the next episode because the girls are saying more and more and more about these cheating allegations with Karen. What is happening, Willis? Like, can't wait. All right. Make sure you subscribe and like to my channel and hit the notifications so you won't miss a video. See y'all soon. Mwah.